My name is Joseph C. Phillips. I'm filling in for Glenn. I'm an actor, a writer, a lover of cooking and Western films. I'm also an unapologetic Christian and a conservative. But most importantly, I have been married to a beautiful redhead for almost 20 years. We've got 3 terrific sons and a hyper-flatulent brindle boxer named Lulu. I get frustrated sometimes listening to people, politicians mostly, talk about the American dream, because usually they're talking about the American dream in terms of getting stuff, acquiring stuff, having stuff, getting more stuff. You know, home ownership, that's the American dream. Good credit, that's the American dream. How about a new car? That's the American dream. Free health care, it's the American dream. Or some such nonsense like that. No. No, no, no. The American dream has absolutely nothing to do with how much stuff you have or your ability to acquire more stuff. My friends, the American dream is and has always been about space. It's about the physical, the political, and philosophical space to live life on one's own terms, to achieve to whatever level your desire, your ambition, your talent, your hard work, and yes, even your luck will allow you. If you're just joining us, we were speaking with Stephen Camarota from the Center for Immigration Studies, and we were talking about illegal immigration before the break, and it's something that almost every small business owner faces. Josh was talking about values. Is there a sense of entitlement among American workers versus those maybe first-generation workers? Sandy?
Yes. And the young people these days, they expect a large salary and they don't produce what you need them to do. They don't want to show up to work on time. They have issues with calling in sick with a headache. I mean, it's just...
Every Friday, right?
Yes,
Everybody's
exactly.
sick on
so
Friday
they have a long
night.
Weekend. It's just crazy.
Well, I'm curious, as Americans, how does it make us feel that the kids that we raise are not looked on as favorably as employees or as potential employees as workers or other people's kids who are first generation? Up next, we're going to be talking about minimum wage, because you're talking about hiring high school students. In my the restaurant, we start at minimum wage, but I'm finding that I want older workers. So does minimum wage then begin to impact the job prospects of those high school students? We're going to be talking about that, government regulation, more talk about illegal immigration, all of this great stuff. Don't you go away. Good morning, everybody. So glad you're with us here on CCN Sunrise. I'm Joseph C. Phillips, here with my partner in crime, the lovely Mary Winters.
Wedding bells today.
Wedding
right?
bells. We have got a terrific show for you today. Mary, our friend Crystal Armstrong is here from Strong Event Planning. Segment star Cheryl Ballman is here with Ivan Lai, and cruise planners on honeymoon planning. Jean Preciado is here with Majestic Design. She's going to talk flowers. It's sometimes referred to as a caveman diet. The paleo diet is an effort to eat like our ancient ancestors, who unfortunately did not have pasta. So we brought in personal chef Erin Vaughn and from Erin's Lunchbox, and she's here to share a paleo-inspired menu or recipe for zucchini noodles or zoodles.
You can go right
It's
ahead.
it's not messy at all, unless you have a runny yolk. But
Oh, don't be shy. I know you. You're
I
like,
would tell her.
I'm
if
wearing
you
a
need
suit.
to be you, pregnant
I'm
lady.
wearing a suit. This is how you might eat at one of Jessica's fancy breakfast parties. When you have a suit, you have to lean over.
You've got it down. You've got it down.
This is really good. It's easy, it's neat. This is how you can use it in the car
Yeah, you can take it on
that's
the
so
go.
while
that's
you're
what
on your way
I'm
to
probably
work.
gonna-
Please welcome Ricardo Handy, Vice President of Original Programming for Bounce TV. Welcome, Ricardo.
Thank you, thank you.
To what do you attribute the growth? Is that because people are going back to the broadcast with the advent of Hulu and Netflix and the online platforms?
Over the air has always been available and thriving, but there was never anything for African Americans on it.
That was just over the air.
Yeah, that was just over there. So once we came on the scene, there was already an audience there, like waiting for something like this that no one ever taken advantage
Well,
of.
I'm curious because I've had a dozen conversations with people, everyone from J.C. Watts down to even here, Larry Elder, here locally here, who want to do or have been trying to do a network geared towards that audience. They didn't have success. You did have success. I have to say that when I received the book and I began thumbing through it, this was before reading it, I thumbed through it first. Right. The first thing that popped in my head was, wait a minute. Here's a Christian pastor writing a book about sex, and not just that sex is dirty, which Christians, we're known for thinking sex is bad, but how to have great sex, how to have sexual fulfillment. What's going on? You're writing a book about sex.
Well, I think the correct question is, why haven't we been talking about it?
Well, that's all right with you, Dad. If the allegations against Bill Cosby are true, which I believe them to be, then Bill Cosby is a man with a tremendously flawed character who enjoyed a stellar reputation. But Bill Cosby is also more than that, isn't he? In spite of his flawed character, Bill Cosby was a brilliant comic and actor, a philanthropist, a patron of the fine arts, a teacher, a man concerned with educating children, a warrior for civil rights. The good works that bolstered his reputation created a legacy, the Bill Cosby legacy. So if a man nurtures his reputation by doing public good, what becomes of those works when his true character is revealed and he suffers the inevitable fall from grace? Do we simply discard a man's brilliance, his philanthropy, his wisdom and humanitarianism? How much of that legacy are we allowed to celebrate? But the one thing for certain is that the Cosby legacy will be determined by the character Bill Cosby demonstrates now, in this moment. His reputation no longer matters.